Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and to the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Matthew 12:25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? This is Roy Portega, former military officer. And these are his words and the sentiment of many military and former military officers and patriots around America.
AJ made the point that there is this entire global takeover requiring everybody to be constantly surveilled and to ask permission to exercise no longer their rights, but the privileges that the governments offer to them. Now, our rights are God-given, and our governments are supposed to be protecting us in those rights, but they're not. They've sold off to what has been called this New World Order corporate entity. And in my opinion, it's being run by a very evil intelligence. And it's all been tied into the AI, which they talked about for a long time. Hello, Ms. Cat. Thank you for being here. What I will say is this. Alex said to them, to Trump and to Rand Paul and to Cruz and several others, he said, after he came back off the break, he says, well, I guess what's really the problem is you're just scared. You're scared, and I know you're scared, and that's why you're not talking out. Look, ladies and gentlemen, that's the same thing as desertion. And I did a video on desertion a few videos back. And if because of fear, they're not speaking out to warn the people.
I'm going to look up that word, desertion. This is just a Google definition. The action of deserting a person, cause, or organization. Then it gives a sentence. I resent what I saw as my parents' desertion. Then it gives you a couple synonyms. Abandonment. Let's click on that. The action or fact of being abandoned. She had a feeling of utter abandonment and loneliness. It's giving you examples. Leave. Nah, that's not a good one. Leaving or forsaking. Abandon someone or something. Military, the action of illegally leaving the armed forces. 3 officers were shot for desertion. Wow, and it's amazing that he uses 3 examples of 3 high-level Americans in this ranch. Let us continue.
They are as guilty as those who are attacking us, both in this whole thing with the New World Order and the entire surveillance control feudal state, no longer protecting our rights, but only granting us privileges if we are obedient. And of course, they're not speaking out on the GMI and its dangers, which is an assault on us. On the
2 Ezra 15:27. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For God shall not deliver you, because you have sinned against him. So a lot of people are about to die from these plagues, both natural and man-made.
The entire world, especially our children. And then, of course, that, like I said this morning, this thing, was it this morning or last night? Yesterday, I guess, about this thing with drafting women. That's one of my red lines in the sand. That's one of them right there. That's one of my red lines in the sand. Okay? When you come after the kids and when you come after the women, that's a red line in the sand for me. But getting back to this point here on this particular video, if you are a leader, you better damn sight know who the enemy is. Because if you don't know, then you are the enemy. There's no in between. So, this little tirade, and it should have been directed at Trump and at Rand Paul and at Cruz and others, that AJ did today, that was good. But he didn't go far enough again, so I'm going to take it that distance, and I just said it. If you're a leader and you can't figure out who the enemy is, you're either totally incompetent or you're complicit. And I go with the second with these guys, that they're complicit. So they are the enemy. And they're going to have to prove to us that they aren't by coming out and speaking in no uncertain terms. I don't care if they're putting their families in danger. They're putting your family in danger for their silence. Silence is agreement. Therefore, they are the enemy unless they do something about it. So AJ won't take it that next distance, but I am right here. Ignorance is no excuse for these people. None of these people. So it has to be complicity, which means they are the enemy. They are limited hangouts, leading us down the other path because, well, they're too afraid to speak out, then they deserted us, and they are, in fact, the enemy. Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, Trump, and all the rest of you, that's where this is right now. You're the enemy unless you speak up and call us out for what it is. Oh, but they'll come after my family. Oh, they may poison me or they may shoot me. They may assassinate me from a distance. You signed up for this. And while it's important to know when to strike, be silent until the time to strike. The time, gentlemen, is way past. You have people dying right now because of your silence. And in your situation, Trump, for pushing deadly things upon us. You must want to go along with the elites. You must want to destroy the Earth's population. You must want to destroy the country that you hug its flag and pretend to love as a photo op. Jesus said something about that. Their lips come near unto me, but their hearts are far from me. And you, Trump, and you, Rand Paul, and you, Ted Cruz, are perfect examples of that. With all the enemies that are coming after us, your silence means that you are the enemy because you're complicit simply by your either not knowing who the enemy is, which I don't believe, or you're complicit in it, or you are afraid. But I just defined what that fear is. That fear is a desertion. And in a regular battlefield, you would have been taken care of.
Hey, let's read that definition of desertion again. And that's heavy. Yeah, here it is. This desertion, and I'm going to go straight to the military one. The action of illegally leaving the armed forces. And it gives you a sentence to explain, for clarity. 3 officers were shot for desertion. This is 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. And I was going to read, the point is 17. I'll read 15 too. But the point is, Salakia, 6, the point is 16. But I'm going to start at 15. For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. The modern day sword is the gun. All right. But people are going to actually have real swords too, knives, cutting and stabbing weapons. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, so their governors and presidents and former presidents, congressmen, aldermen, mayors, governors. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right? You have so many Edomites prepping for the inner city people that they planned on taking out when the SHTF comes. SHTF is going to be between these Edomites, mainly. Everybody else is just going to get caught up in it. And it's going to be a mass free-for-all. Mass death is coming to America, and it's coming soon. Call halal Yahweh by Shana Shai, by Hashem Bukakwadash, Wa Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharallah.